debacles, etc. But it's Wednesday, so happy hump day. This thing is happening. Things are happening. Happy woman.
And it's happening at 8:30.
And it yeah. So we did.
Let me just say, not 10 o'clock, not 2 o'clock, 2 a.m., 11 o'clock, 11 p.m., 12 p.m. a.m.
Make some
It's
effort.
happening at 8:30.
Okay, so
I think kudos for that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, sometimes you gotta pat yourself on your own back. Okay. So, yeah, I'm about that life.
Yes.
All right.
Good.
Yeah. Good enough.
We're good. And this is my little knapsack, y'all. So this is carrying my things because we're trying a new setup and I don't have a table. So this is my table.
And then there's that.
Okay.
Okay.
My cup holder, my scarf holder. No, you guys, it's Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, you are with the Us Girls United Sisters. It's Eb Deceleb
and GemDTwin.
And we are about to go live. And we are live. We are live. And the conversation today is going to get juicy as it always does.
We got to get into it.
We got to get into it because it's a what's the word? Phenomenon.
Yes.
It's a phenomenon.
Is
it a phenomenon? Tell me the definition of phenomenon.
Let me look it up first.
Okay.
Like I want to be
because it's
when
something.
It comes to
it's a lot going on out here, so we're definitely going to have to hit that coronavirus. We clearly got to talk about safety tips on that. And I have been on the coronavirus since the outbreak. What am I trying to say?
I don't know.
The outbreak happened. I've been on the coronavirus, so we're going to talk about tips and things like that. What you could do to just stay safe. And then also we're going to talk about, we got some really interesting, juicy topics about bisexual relationships, and not bisexual in a relationship in a sense of you are with a bisexual, like you're bisexual and you're with somebody who's straight, but someone, if you're in a relationship and the person also likes to deal with the same sex, whether it be a man or a woman, okay? And you guys are in a clear relationship. We're going to talk about that. It is actually, I'm going to say Black History, even though it's not Black History Month, but it's Women's History Month. So I'm going to include that as a part of Black History Month as well. So happy Women's History Month. We're very excited about that. It's Pisces season. That's another thing. Home of the hopeless romantics.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, hopeless romantics. I dated a Pisces, so they hopeless romantics.
I mean, I dated a little Pisces,
and they got little hopeless romantics and stuff, and But shout out to those who have birthdays in the Pisces season.
Yeah.
What else is going on? Shout out to what else we can shout out? What else? Is there anything else to shout out?
Just shouting shit out.
Yeah, is ain't nothing else to shout out.
Shout out SipsTea the motherfucking show.
Shout out to SipsTea the Show. Shout out that too as well. Shout out all of those who are on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Yes.
Shout out Don't Block Your Bloom. I see you, baby. If you guys not got that book, you better get that book and thank me later.
Absolutely.
After
when we're talking about
that
women's history, I'm sorry, y'all.
Yes, if we talk about Women's History Month, yes, Don't Block Your Bloom. You guys get that book. Follow her on Instagram.
Yeah.
Her story is amazing. She's giving her truth in her version. Read it.
Yeah.
And thank me later. Thank me later.
Okay, because you talking your book.
I read it.
If you're not reading the book.
I read the book and I done wrote in my book. So it's one of them type of books. You got to keep up with the book. It's not one of them books that you can actually, you got to read this book. It's not no Amazon Prime, listen to it on the audio. You actually got to read this book and take notes.
Yeah, the notes section.
Yeah, you got to be able to take notes. So I really like this book, guys. Catch that book if you can. It's called Don't Block Your Bloom. Shout out to her, doing her thing as always, doing her thing. Shout out to all the women entrepreneurs who are doing their thing, who have done it, who are thinking about doing it, and just haven't taken that status. So
so if you guys want to do like some brewing tea, you guys know we have the brewing tea section of the show when we talk about everyday awesomeness and things that you're doing outside in the community for yourself, projects that you're starting, things that you're finishing, whatever journey you're on. If you guys know somebody or it's you, just inbox us at SipsTea@gmail.com so we can shout you out, especially in Women's History Month, because it's really important for us. We started talking about last year how it was the year of the entrepreneur, but it's really important for us to continue to empower us and to continue to like support each other in all that we do, period, point blank and flat out, because we got enough haters. You know what I'm saying? But let's start off with the positivity.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm getting my quote together right now.
Okay, so as Eb Deceleb gets her quote together, we will also say thank you for tuning in to SipsTea the Show. You can hit us up on SipsTeaTheShow@gmail.com. Don't forget us on Facebook and Instagram and things like that as well. And I guess, you know, I didn't even prepare a quote today. Really, it was just more about let me give y'all my horoscope. Okay. And I'm only giving you a little glimpse of my horoscope because I think this happens to us as women. And it's just a little piece of it. So shout out to the CoStar app. But part of my horoscope says at the end, from the day you were born, you've been taught to smile, appease, and adapt to expectations. No wonder you've lost touch with yourself. So I don't think that really just pertains to me. I really truly believe that women in general, that is one of the things that historically we've been taught. We've been taught to appease others, to smile through it, to be a way, to, you know, there's just a protocol, how we're supposed to look, how we're supposed to talk, what the idea of womanhood has nothing to do with our actual identity when it comes to how we were brought up and raised to be and stuff like that. So when I saw this as part of my horoscope, and I think that it's very, very true, that from day one since you've been born, you were taught to smile, appease, and adapt to expectations. I do think that something like that does cause us to be to disconnect from our true selves. So I'm encouraging all of the women out there, men too, guys, like reconnect with whoever you are. You know what I'm saying? When you come into this world, you were named by someone else. The expectations were put on us by someone else. Even when it comes to being a woman, the gender roles, since we're going to be talking later on in the show about bisexuality and things like that, gender roles are actually put on us. And that's another reason why people are going through so much with their actual sexuality and things like that. Because if you were born with a, then you're this. And if you were born with a, then you were that. You know what I mean? And you should behave as such. Or so we're told. Because a hoo-ha. We're going to call it a hoo-ha for the, the show. No.
Oh, is this not kid friendly?
I mean, no, actually it's not. So we could just say, what? You want the P and J of it all?
I mean, the penis and the vagina. I mean, we could use the vernacular that.
I guess.
I mean, what do we... That's all. I mean,
you know what? Because I don't really use the word vagina. Every time I get ready, no, when I get ready to say vagina, I'm getting ready to say pussy. And so I have to. I don't want to say that.
You don't want to say pussy.
I don't want to say pussy.
It's a derogatory.
No, it's just like I would rather say vagina pussy to you. Like you know,
you don't want to say pussy to the people. You don't want to say pussy to the people.
I don't want to say pussy to the people.
Don't say pussy to the people.
It's just too much to be like pussy, pussy, pussy. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, to be honest,
they made a song with pussy. They make songs with pussy.
Pussy control. Shout out to Prince.
I'm just saying.
But at the same time, I know that word still
it has a negative.
It doesn't necessarily have a negative connotation, but it takes some people off. Some people are still not prepared to hear the word pussy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
you want to say pearl?
Yeah. Protecting my pearl.
Your pearl? You want to say pearl?
No.
Y'all, she want to say pearl.
For the duration of the show, we will say vagina.
Okay. So say vagina.
I will just prepare myself. If I get stuck and I be like, it's because I wanted to say pussy, but I'm forming the words vagina.
Okay.
My vag.
You just say pearl. I mean, just say my pearl.
I've never in my life
I'm just saying.
I haven't said my pearl. I haven't said my flower. I haven't said anything like weird like that. It wasn't. Yeah, it was never a flower. So
every now and again, I'll say my La Pearl.
So we have somebody on YouTube who's saying that he has a question.
People aren't prepared
that people run from, and you don't know.
What's your question? I mean,
yeah, what's the question?
I guess you got to ask the question. And then also, too, guys, if this is not a good live stream coming from,
yeah, let us know if your stream on YouTube is like weird or if there's an issue.
Okay, how many Black people have contracted the coronavirus? I'm not racist. Just a question. You know what though? That is, I was actually going to speak to that, to the fact that I honestly think Black people are immune to certain viruses, and I'm gonna tell you why I say this.
Mm-hmm.
Black people don't get lice. I don't hear about Black people getting lice.
Our hair is not conducive to
like
the what the lice are looking for. Like if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, I have to look that up because I actually looked that up before. Okay, so
tell us why.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us. Sometimes I'm glad you're here. By the way, right here,
you're educating us, and but while he's educating us, let's move. While he's about to educate us, I do want to read 2 quotes from 2 Black women in our Women's History / Black Month. Okay. I'm gonna do Rosa Parks. Okay. I love a good Rosa. I love Rosa Parks. So it says, you must never be fearful about what you are doing when it is right.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm going to read Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou says, all great achievements require time.
Absolutely.
So no matter what, don't give up, because anything great, it's going to require. We're going to give up on this show. Right?
Yeah.
We're going to keep pushing through on this show.
It's a thing, guys.
Because it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time.
It's a thing. It is a thing.
Patience, freaking energy,
everything. So back to the corona. We could definitely talk about the coronavirus.
Do you want to go now?
I mean, we can. Or did you want to talk about Kathy? You want to talk about Kathy with the brewing, the first Black soldier?
Oh, Kathy Williams. Oh, well, since we were brewing tea, so we are talking about brewing tea. Brewing tea is a section of the show. And guys, like last week, we threw all of the sections and all that shit right out the window.
It was a good collaboration.
I mean, but sometimes we do that, and we can do that because it's our show. So sometimes we try to, we just went a little bit off book last week, and we might go off book this week. But so yes. Tea is a section of the show when we talk about all of the awesomeness and things like that. And since it is Women's History Month and it's coming right off of Black History Month, it brings me back to Kathy Williams and how this woman joined the Army. Is it the Army? I think she joined the Army up in there. And she joins the Army as a man, and as opposed to enlisting as Kathy Williams because, they were not accepting women, she enlisted as William Cathay. So shout out to you. I mean,
shout out to her.
First of all, shout out to you for wanting to even be involved in that.
Because guess what? I don't want to be no soldier.
I mean, and then that's another thing. Like sometimes it goes back to the whole Rosa Parks thing. Like standing up for something that you believe in. Obviously, it was important to her to actually, do this whole, fight for what she believed in and things like that. So it looks like she was born in 1844, September of 1844. Now I'm so obsessed with what somebody's sign was.
Virgo.
Right. So African-American soldier who enlisted in the U.S. Army under the pseudonym William Cathay. So first woman in the Army to serve as a man because you did what you had to do. Let's tune back into Thaddeus. Over here on YouTube. What?
So he's actually a shout out to him. He's studying medical science and
quantum physics.
Shout out to you.
Allegedly.
So he's actually giving us some really detailed information here, guys. Here on YouTube, please tune in. Trying to just see it. It says, help me if I'm seeing it.
Okay, so the reports from a team of our brothers and sisters that are in the medical profession from the Congolese went to Wuhan 4 weeks ago. On live Facebook, they said it, and it got me to thinking and researching. He says he studies medical science and quantum physics. Normally, the medical society talks about demographics of a pandemic, but they know if they talk about the demographics of this pandemic, the truth will come out. Black people can't catch the coronavirus because it's not a virus. What is it? Question mark. You know the way you leading into these things?
Oh, what is it?
Okay. Wuhan launched the 5G networks weeks ago. Come on, boy. We listen. So
yeah, he's giving us some facts here on YouTube. Thank you,
lay it down.
And really if anybody some facts here about the coronavirus and how Black people can't catch it. Okay.
Well, if you're in the
but I'm still gonna take my precautionary measures. I'm sorry.
Listen,
that is, I believe what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but I'm still going to the airport with my ski mask on.
I mean, some of the precautions that people are taking are precautions that you should be taking anyway.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell y'all, I spent some time in the emergency room recently, and I was all up in with masks just because people. Listen, and last week we talked about nasty women things that women did in the bathrooms and nasty women's bathrooms. But why the hell have you grown ass people not learned to cover their fucking mouths when they're coughing?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Why am I protecting myself from you as opposed to you protecting the rest of everybody from whatever it is you got? That's what bothers me. It bothers me that I'm in the emergency room and I need to put on a mask. I'm not there because I feel sick. No, I'm there for something completely and totally different. Someone really sick as a dog, and you don't feel it necessary to like cover your mouth. I know you touching all over everything. You know what I'm saying? You're not like with me when I'm sick. I'm just cautious of what I'm doing. I don't want other people to get sick. I don't know if it's a mom thing. I never want anybody else to get sick. Like that does not like. That's not good for me if other people around me are sick and then we just keep on infecting each other. That shit is nasty. So,
but I feel though, I just gotta say, with this coronavirus, because I've been definitely taking it very, very seriously, and the world is really catching on board. I wish people will wrap their dicks up the way that they over here wrapping it. Like, I'm sorry. It's like you got how many people that died from HIV?
Listen,
and you still ain't wrapping that
baby.
Dick up. You still ain't protecting that pussy.
And this generation, just like I think we were talking about this on the last show.
I'm just saying
that people were just you know, very comfortable with having sexual relations without like it's not a problem.
Like they don't want to wrap up.
Like,
but everybody getting crazy about the coronavirus because it's killed a few thousand people, but the AIDS done killed how many people, and we still can't. But we still can't protect ourselves. We still don't want to have protected sex. Like, it's just so funny how as a society we take things so seriously when the government leaks or when it becomes a thing, but when it's something that's been a thing and it's killing people every single day, we still don't want to take the precautionary measures to have safe sex.
And then the other thing is,
I'm just saying,
like we always have these pandemics, and somebody, you know, we have pandemics that come up around election times.
I'm still gonna wear my mask
when it's election times, or when they want to smoke screen and want us to, you know, here goes some trouble that we having over here, but we want y'all to look over there. We always have pandemics. We have, you know, these scares and things like that. So, I mean,
I'm still scared though. Don't get it twisted. I'm still very scared.
I'm a child of God.
I'm a child of him
take me out with the coronavirus, then that's just how he planned on doing it. I mean, I feel like let's take those precautions. Let's wash our hands. Let's stay away from nasty ass people who don't know how to or don't care to cover their shit. Same way, just like you said about sexually transmitted diseases, some people are deciding that they have this shit and they're not going to actually protect anyone else from that either. That's a whole thing as well, that people just need to be like protect yourself a little bit. You know what I mean? Do the things. We'll talk about the precautionary measures and things like that later on in the show when we have DetoxTEA. We talk about all of the things, mind, body, and spirit, to keep keep us safe and well, healthy.
Some tips and stuff.
Yeah, some tips and stuff. So we'll talk about that more.
But we got a lot of collabs.
Well, my thing is this. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say. If you guys are really interested,
you'll never catch a sis. And I'm appreciating all this knowledge because I even can walk out this door feeling a little bit safer.
Yeah.
But until I know that I know, the way my mind is set up, it's like, okay, I'm going to the airport with my mask on because I don't know what's going on. But at the end of the day, to be honest with you, this coronavirus, it is what it is. But there's so many viruses out here that we should have been washing our hands. Like, this is shit we should have been doing. It's not just because the world brings note to it, then we want to just be like listening and stuff. No, we should have been doing this shit. Like, I don't understand why we just get so it's like we're so we attach ourselves to what the world wants us to think. It was the same way with this whole damn when the Popeyes chicken. We attached ourselves to that
and
shit.
Don't forget,
like we gotta stop that shit.
Some stuff is being forced on us at any given time. You know,
for any given reason,
some things are being forced on us, and it's our responsibility to either ignore it or subscribe.
Exactly.
Period.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So it depends on, and it's a whole lot of shit. Even when it comes down to this bisexual thing that we are also going to get into, that is also up to who's subscribing. Do you subscribe to the shit? Because
some knowledge on here.
All right. So this is what I'm going to say. If you guys are over on Instagram, I think our feed with Facebook may have ended, and I'm hoping that people that were watching there will come on over to YouTube. But wherever you are, you can click the link in our bio and it'll take you over to YouTube. There is some here who is
real good information about the coronavirus.
Giving really good information about the coronavirus. And if you want to see more of that, I think it's best that you actually go into the chat and read the feed, because I don't think that we can really do it justice by just reading verbatim, but because we don't understand, you know, medically, do we even know what you're talking about?
It says here, but one thing I just want to stick out, you know, and this is unfortunately, this is directed, you know, we have so many followers, you know, Black, white, Chinese, and all this different stuff, but this is one for the Black people. Sorry. Not like that. But sorry. This is it's the fine. Black people. It says, why can't you catch it? Pause. Mm-hmm. Because of the most vital protein in the human body, which is melanin. So, this is from Thaddeus here.
So Thaddeus, you're saying that the melanin is actually protecting us from something. Okay. I'm here for it.
Exactly. So, so this one is for the people who have melanin in their skin. You're protected. But that's true though, because as African Americans, we don't get a lot of these diseases. And if you notice, we haven't heard of any outbreaks out in Africa. Mm-hmm. One, maybe China people aren't traveling to Africa. I don't know.
Right.
But, it could be to what Thaddeus is saying.
I will also say that when I'm talking about something that you subscribe to or don't, I choose not to subscribe to so much of that shit, because I don't need to be like freaked out every day of my life anyway. So as far as who is actually catching it, like I don't know who the reported people were. I'm always
they're saying they're saying it's the likely people. They're saying is men. They're saying it's an older the older population, right, because of the immune system. So they've been saying,
but that's with every virus.
But that's
like the flu. So I'm interested. I'm always interested in who it was. Male, female, Black, white, blah, 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 and the age group. I'm usually interested in that because to me, those things are, more of precursors of whether or not this shit is coming for me particularly, or whether or not I have the opportunity to like fight it. Because that's the same thing with the flu. Because the most susceptible and the most, it's most dangerous for our elderly
community. Because they can't fight it off.
Absolutely.
Naturally.
Right. So,
listen,
and then did you see, my daughter actually sent me a picture of The Simpsons back in, what year was that? Like anyway, back in the day, one of the Simpsons show, they came on and they were talking about the coronavirus. Like, how do we do that?
Exactly.
It was,
we said what?
Yeah, there was a Simpsons episode. I'm so sick of the motherfucking Simpsons. I'm going to tell y'all that, because the ongoing joke about The Simpsons was that The Simpsons was always, quote unquote, predicting future stuff. Like they had some of the cartoons with them predicting Donald Trump becoming president and things like that. Sometimes the coincidences are just a little bit too much for me.
Let's play that for the people.
But
because my girlfriend sent me this. This is what she sent me. She said, this is going to be me when I'm in the airport.
Yeah,
she said, that's going to be me when I'm in the airport. That's what my girlfriend told me.
So 1993, season 4, episode 21 of The Simpsons. and literally they were talking about the coronavirus on TV.
Oh my God!
So
is this something going on in the epidemic of the world? Oh my God! Look,
oh my God!
Look, oh my God! Look, this is. Oh my! Look, the coronavirus.
Somebody's gonna make a meme of Eb Deceleb.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Look at it though.
No, absolutely.
Like
but
that's freaky
this
shit.
Is not
That's
the first
freaky
one.
shit.
Can you guys see this?
It say coronavirus.
Okay.
In 1993. How many years ago was that? We got to do the math. Oh my God.
That's what 7 years ago.
I got to do the math. We got to let y'all.
What are we? 2020? Yeah, 17 years.
Hold up, y'all. Know the numbers now.
So also, Mr. MD is also telling us he would like everybody to know the name of the movie.
27 years.
What?
You said 17. That's 27 years.
Oh. 03. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Damn. 03, 13, 27.
Yeah, that's 27 years.
Yeah.
27 years ago.
No bullshit, because 13.
Damn. Oh, my God.
Okay.
Y'all better, y'all, I'm telling you, there's something going on out here in America.
Welcome to 2020. I'm sorry.
Real.
Is there anybody else who's just like, this is fucking 2020?
It's something going on out here in America because they are predicting stuff like that. Was in 1993. It's talking about the coronavirus. Oh my God.
I mean, but I'm also aware of things that I feel like people are making and creating, and so that's how you can predict it. But I'm gonna leave that one alone. I don't like to do conspiracy theories any more than I like to like focus on shit that I feel like I'm paying attention to other shit. So pay attention to what's going on in politics. Pay attention to what's going on in your neighborhood, like especially in the DC area where we're having a influx of shooting. There's a lot of gang violence going on. We're not seeing that stuff on the news, people, or maybe they are, but I know I'm not. He says on YouTube, Henrietta Lacks is about a Black woman that was medically tortured for medical science, literally tortured, which does not surprise me because the way they figured out, quote unquote, or wanted to test us back in the future from African American Studies. Shout out. African American Studies teaches us that the way that they were figuring out, quote unquote, things about the African Americans in general was to test us and like our endurance, test this, that, and the other. And it was a form of torture to try to test us.
That's why they don't like us, because we immune to that bullshit that
you
they
figure shit out, so you
don't
kill me, so you can figure out how different my skull looks for yours, and then all of a sudden I'm subhuman. You know, I just can't. I can't get into that. Let's just backtrack for a second because I need a breather. Because here on SipsTea the Show, we like to get into it. We want to put it out there. We want everybody to share some information, but we also you know, when we have our heavy shows.
That took me back with the 1993.
You still there, girl? You like what?
That's scary.
Okay, you gonna watch the episode?
No, I ain't gonna watch that.
Okay, you sure?
I don't like the Simpsons.
Yeah, are the Simpsons the devil?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay,
I ain't never.
Were you allowed to watch it?
No,
I wasn't allowed to watch the Simpsons either, but I definitely snuck. I snuck to see that shit.
Oh my God. My goodness.
So what I want you guys to do is listen, this is my thing. Everything that anybody has to say, I'm going to have to say allegedly about, because I don't have medical proof of any of this. And until we have someone from the medical field on the show to like show their face and you know, actually everything that we say here is like, okay, this is what this person is saying. So Mr. But
we do want to catch that. But he did want us to catch that movie.
Absolutely. So he's sharing some information. That's why I'm telling everybody, go to YouTube, get on our YouTube channel, check out the chat, because there's definitely some interesting
real information about Corona.
And I mean, I feel like it's worth a read. We don't have them. I don't personally. GemDTwin don't have the medical.
But my girlfriend said, you know, she know everything. She said Black people can't get the coronavirus. She told me that too. So she actually did say that before Thaddeus said it.
And then
she had told me.
Did she have a basis for it, or just because?
She said,
I mean, we are some fucking super people. Like,
yeah, because we can't get, she said, because we can't get, like she made note, which is true, like lice and all this stuff that they get, we don't get that stuff, you know? The stuff that we
it's completely possible though, because don't y'all also, you need to know that lice is also crabs, okay?
Oh yeah.
And so your black ass with your nasty doing all of this stuff, your black ass can get crabs. So when you telling people stuff about certain diseases and certain stuff, don't tell the black people that they can't get lice, because you can get lice.
Oh,
you can.
Oh, these are the truths.
You won't see a whole bunch of it because of what lice look for when they're going into hair. It's not something that typically, but you can get lice, and you can also get what the other thing I said? Crabs. Crabs are lice, but the crabs are lice in your pubes. Okay, so your ass can get that shit too. So when you're doing the nasty stuff with whoever knows, I just need you all to know that it is still possible for you too. Okay, let's not. That's why I'm saying
it's a lot of diseases.
This is a show. We're talking about shit, but some of this stuff needs to be followed by the word the fuck allegedly. Please know that I don't have the medical documentation for you, but out of fear, because I'm sorry, certain things, like I'm a researcher, so when I get scared of something, or if I want to take the fear out of it, I start and I'm looking up and I'm trying to figure out. That's why I figured out that black people could get lice. It's just less likely than some of their no.
Did you get?
I said research says that that there have been some black people who have gotten lice, but I have known some black people to have crabs, which also took me back to black people that had crabs. Took me to doing some more research to be like, okay, so what the hell is crabs? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a crab lover, guys. I just love Maryland blues. So this is back in the day. We're in high school. An undisclosed homeboy says, your shit is itching, blah, blah, blah. He had crabs. And so I'm like, what are they? Because I'm, picturing, this is story time. Let's go. We're going to switch this to story time. Okay. We're going to switch to story time. Oh, yes. A homeboy, I will never give up your secrets, says, something's going on. And so I'm like, what? At this point, I want to know. Like, I've been in health education all of this time. We talk about diseases in health education class. Did y'all have health education?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about, sexually transmitted diseases and things like that in health education class. And so when he says he has crabs, I got to fucking know. Because I'm just picturing Maryland blues. Like, now I really want to know how you have crabs, because when you're in sex education class, they're not like showing you crabs. They're just telling you that they exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you seen? No! Shit. I also am. So
you gotta show the people what you're talking about, so they can look down there and see if they had a little crab.
Well, that looks like it's a very.
You gotta show them what you're talking about. What's a pew?
So
the crab.
See how they can't see that? I think you need to get up and get closer or something. You gotta be about that life. If you're gonna be about their life, you gotta be about that life. Well, then put the phone down. You're not even helping the people because you're not even about their life. She wanna show you that she's not showing you. So that happened, and it got me to looking to see what the crabs were. And then later I found the link between crabs and lice. One is down here, one is up there. Herpes information, one is down there, one is up there. So I just, have gone into circles of finding out shit based upon, I'm the kind of person that I don't want to be scared of certain things. Recently when the whole HIV thing was, we've had an epidemic with that, and people have been talking about being undetectable with HIV. Have you heard? Mm-hmm. Okay. And so
something you can take.
Yeah, mm-hmm. But that got me to doing some research as well, because I really feel like knowledge is power. Oh, he says a STD crab can get as big as a quarter. Now that's big as fuck.
Yeah,
he said big and flat. I didn't know that. As big as a quarter. I thought they were very, very small. But anyway, what? If you now that just made
if I went down on a
anything big is a quarter on you, bitch.
You can't see that.
Why?
Shit.
Okay, I'm sorry. The cursing needs to stop. But I got into, researching more, especially for the field that I work in as well. I want to know more about certain things because I don't want to be ignorant to them when I'm trying to discuss them. And so I actually met somebody who if I'm not mistaken, this is a long story, so we're going to leave that alone. But yes, with the whole HIV thing and being undetectable, and we have all of this new medical stuff out there to make it so that it's not as deadly as it was before. Yes, we all do have bioorganisms crawling on our bodies all the time. Healthy ones, yes, that is very true. But imagine hearing that as a child. It just makes you look into things. I encourage everybody to look into things. That's why I'm saying don't take what I'm saying at face value. Take everything that I'm saying allegedly and go look for yourself. Yeah. Like, stop letting anybody, myself, Eb Deceleb, the news, or anybody else, stop letting one person or one entity or one body tell you shit and then make that go. Like, we have got to stop doing that. Even with 1,001 reports of the coronavirus, like, we're still only seeing what people want to see. That much, I promise you, is true. We're only getting what they're choosing to release. So be it, for instance, if Mr. MD on here, if that is very true for us of the melanin.
He's released some
you give information is true.
He's been released.
That information also could have been released a long time ago, but they don't want to say. Ain't nobody getting on the news and saying, "Oh, but don't y'all black people worry."
Yeah, they can't do that.
You see what I'm saying? Like, y'all good. Y'all can continue to travel and live your life.
Exactly. They can't do that because
but they can single us out for everything else.
Exactly.
Just FYI, they sure can do that.
And because black people are the first to panic any motherfucking way. Shit, because see, you could tell a white motherfucker to, hey, make sure you take precautionary measures. Oh, it's okay, Johnny. I'm a millionaire. I'm not gonna get it. You tell a black motherfucker that shit, and guess what? We maxed the fucked up in 2.5. You got to tell me twice.
That's because we already know as a people that people are trying to kill us. Exactly. We have been trying to. People have been trying to exterminate our asses since the beginning of time. Period. Yeah.
So, and I ain't no racist or nothing. I'm just saying.
Moving on, let's do this, guys, because it's all about the coronavirus. But I really want to get into this conversation that has started recently. Oh, wow.
Think about that. So yes, think about that.
Okay, because I think that's going to become part of the conversation. So we're going to move into our conversation about the whole bisexuality.
We were asked this.
If you guys have been watching, there is a Netflix series called, is it Love at First Sight? I think it's called Love at First Sight. We were listening to the clip of the show. I began watching the show, but I just couldn't really get into it. Like, it's too much for me, like, to watch y'all's connections and stuff like that. But I love me some Netflix. So there's a clip of this couple on Netflix, African-American couple, and the African-American male reveals to the African-American female that he is bisexual. So they're interested in each other. They've already been interested in each other. And now he's dropping what I guess everyone is saying is the bomb, saying that he's bisexual. So it's this whole conversation as to who was right or who was wrong, because she begins to ask a whole bunch of questions. And eventually he also, I guess, gets a little upset. I mean, I actually didn't even make it to the end of the clip. We didn't make it to the end of the clip, but then I heard that he started to like kind of go on her about her hair. And I can only think that came into play because she's saying that you didn't present your real self to me. And he's like,
pause, wait.
But the way you got that wig set up, the way your lace front is, you didn't present your real self to me either. Okay. You know, us natural girls wouldn't have that trouble. But I mean, that is a real thing. So we wanted to get into the whole conversation about in our community and what that means. Like what that means for dating. Because I think everybody, almost everybody at least, is down for a bisexual female.
Yeah, I mean, it's for whatever reason, it's more acceptable.
It's more acceptable by the general public for a woman to be bisexual. It does not put anybody off any more than being a lesbian woman usually does not put people off, because in our male-driven world, all that does is create a vision of your ass in between two women. You know, some kind of way.
They don't feel threatened.
You don't feel threatened. You don't feel like you, even though two women are saying it's just us and I just like women, it still doesn't make you feel like you've been left
threatened
out.
like it was like a dude.
For I don't think that it's that bad. Now, the question is, do you think that being a bisexual woman is easier than, or announcing yourself, coming out as, hey, I'm bisexual.
Absolutely. I'm bisexual. Yeah, you accept it. It's like, okay, I'm bisexual.
But is that for you too? Like, if a male came to you and said, I'm bisexual, and he's interested in you, you're interested in him, would you take that?
I'll tell you this, right? Because he outwardly said, he gave you the choice to choose to say, hey, I'm a bisexual man.
Yeah.
I like you, but I also like men.
Yeah.
I can respect that. Now, I can't date you, but I can respect you coming to me, versus it's a lot of people out here who are bisexual men.
Yeah.
They just
and
never
they don't
say anything.
Exactly.
I don't respect that.
Yeah, right. That's not the shit.
You see what I'm saying? I don't respect that, because you out here getting dick down and sucking my pussy. And you're not letting me know.
Right. Like,
okay. Give me the right
but
to
here
choose.
we go. Okay, here we go. So,
my le pearl.
The pearl?
Le
Your
pearl.
vag.
Okay,
so, male, bisexual. I think
Chance the Rapper's brother's bisexual.
What we did hear on the clip was that the female said to him, that was actually her argument. She said, I feel like basically you've been lying to me this whole time.
You didn't tell me.
Because you didn't tell me that you were bisexual.
Yeah.
My question, playing devil's advocate, did I come tell you I was heterosexual? You assumed I was heterosexual.
Because you're wanting to date me. So you're trying to date me.
That means I'm heterosexual.
I mean, you don't have to. That's understood.
No, that means I like women.
Yeah. So, but
I didn't tell you. And that's the same thing here. We should just call this the lies you tell in relationships, or when you're trying to get to know. Listen,
tell me.
Also, if I just meet you on the street, hey, Eb Deceleb, we both lesbians, blah, blah, blah. Am I telling you that I'm already dating 3, 4, 5 people?
No. But
why do I not have to tell you about this shit? But I need to tell you. I need to tell you. I don't need to tell you that I like 5 other people other than you, but I need to tell you that one of those is a man.
Where I'm at, what it is, if we are deciding to commit to one another.
See, that's not even where they were.
I'm not even talking about the dating, because
that's not where they were.
You might not want to tell me that, because you might not see a future with me, and you don't want to. You drop your T's to me.
And that is that's what the gentleman said.
But if we're serious,
you want to know.
Let me know.
So how soon do they have to tell
you? When you say, hey, I want it to be you and me.
But if you are already talking to them, so how long can you date? Because I don't think that you, especially in our dating culture, and we had this conversation about dating before. Mm-hmm. Like, how long do you go in before you're like, I mean, we've talked about how long before you saying I want to be you and me. Now, if you're coming with me with a conversation about it needs to be us, that means we've dated for a while. I know you know me enough to say I want to get serious with you.
But here's the thing. This goes to, goes back to, when do you have sex? When you decide to enter into that type of relationship sexually, that is a conversation. I think is, hey, who else are you doing anything with any other sexual partner?
So that's okay. So before time rules, we love our rules, mm-hmm. right? So we're saying the disclosure should come in, and I guess that's what we should talk about. When does the disclosure come in? When should the disclosure come in? So are we saying that the disclosure should come in before we have sex?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're dating for 6 months before we have sex?
Yeah.
And then you tell me right before, you like this, and they like, oh, y'all can't see my leg up, but I was giving it a little leg. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so you got your leg propped open. They like, I need to just let you know also.
A nigga been sucking this dick. I mean, where do you go from here? What do we do?
Right. Things.
Like, what do you do?
A typical date because you wanted to date me. Well, first of all,
but 6 months is you should know. It should give you enough time to really know a person. And 6, not enough time. I mean, not like that, but you should be asking enough questions where if that
are we waiting 6 months?
Yeah,
let's be realistic.
Like that's a little long. Yeah,
okay. So
6 months.
Let's get really.
I mean, if we gonna do the damn thing, I need to know before 6 months.
Okay, 30 days.
I mean, that doesn't mean all like that.
For real. Let's do
90 days.
Are we doing 30 days?
Okay, 30 days.
Some people get the shit.
14. Oh, okay.
30.
7 too.
I mean, there are still one night stands, so let's do a span of time. So we have between one night stand when I don't know your ass at all. So did you owe me anything right then and there? One night stand.
You took a risk.
I'm bisexual. It's all risky anyway.
Everything's risky.
Okay, so fuck a one night stand. You're not getting nothing. You're not getting no information. One night stand.
Yeah.
One night stand through 1 through 30 days. I know?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think
so. Within 30 days, I should know whether or not you are hetero or homo.
Yeah, or you could just say, "Hey, do you have any other sexual partners?" And they start, But
what if they don't have sexual partners, but they do know that they have hey, we might rock, we might not work out, but you might see me with a dude later.
That's a comment. But also, too, I like to ask questions. And in 2020, you got to ask that question. Hey, have you ever, and I'm sorry, I'm going to just keep it real. Dating a woman or a man, I'm going to ask the same damn question. Yeah. Hey, have you ever been with a man?
Yeah. Do you think that's a lesbian
thing? Is that something that you're interested in? Straight up.
Because the community that we're in, do you think that
you got to?
Do you think that we're more sensitive to something like that because we are a part of the alphabet club?
I don't think take lesbians and heterosexual out of it. Right now, everybody's fucking everybody. So everybody's fucking everybody.
Okay, so
there's
so much fucking fluidity right now. Everybody's
doing everybody. So you can't even have no classifications. It's straight up. Hey, have you ever been with a man? No disrespect, just asking for myself and my own information.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I ain't never been with a man. Do you ever have a desire to want to be with a man?
Yeah.
That's another question. No, I don't desire to want to be. You can't assume just because he's 6'2" and he's that he ain't about that life, or he doesn't think about it. Hey, do you ever have thoughts about being with a man? Because guess what? It is a natural thing.
Yeah.
Let's have this conversation. Let's break this ice.
Yeah.
Because my safety.
It should just be like
we got to just have a conversation.
Have a question there. So
you can't. And the way this world is going, you can't be offended. Have you ever been with a tranny? Because a lot of men think that when they're with trannies, that's not a man. I need to know how far we taking it.
Yeah.
I need to know, because if we're going to do anything, I need to know what your past look like and what your present might present itself to be like.
Okay, so do you think, first of all,
that's just me.
First of all, let's just be tested. Okay, let's all do that.
That's the one.
Well.
Yeah, let's get tested.
Let's just be tested. Because what you think and what you know might be two different things in the first place. So let's do that. To be safe in this society, because like you said, everybody's fucking everybody.
Everybody's
and
fucking
you just don't
everybody.
Know. And right now, people don't. Our culture now becoming so
confused.
It's actually becoming more accepting of so many other things. Now we have the emergence of bisexuality, pansexuality, our pronouns and things like that. And I do think, okay, it's allowing you to be you.
Yeah.
I do know that in lesbian relationships, more often than not, very early on in our conversations with each other, before we even like each other a lot, people are like, and I don't know if it's a dom femme thing, but people are like, so, especially from a dom to a femme, they're like, so, do you like dudes? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a real
question.
It's
always like, are you a lesbian or are you?
Give people the right to choose.
Give people the right to choose. However, I'm going to say this. And this is with my wisdom of the years, because, I do have to say that shit changes, period, point blank, and flat out. And whereas your motherfucking ass thought you was a whole lesbian at one point and you wasn't doing shit else, You might up and decide one day
you want the ding dong,
and
that's okay.
So if someone is actually coming to me and telling me that right now they're bisexual, it comes down to me, just like Eb Deceleb says, knowing the risk, but also the right for me to choose, because I would rather choose somebody that I know the deck is stacked for me, saying, this is what my propensity is for real. For the most part, I like females, because back in the day, I will admit I was a little prejudiced. I was prejudiced against bisexuality or bisexual.
I think a lot of lesbians, the way the world had us thinking is something was wrong with them. So people weren't comfortable saying that, oh, I'm bisexual, because they were caught up in this lesbian mindset in this lesbian world.
Or they would say they were bisexual but you're okay. This is where my prejudice came from, and this is why I didn't like the shit. This is why sometimes I'm still not with the shit. Because you're bisexual. But does that mean people play with that word? Bisexual women sometimes, because it's a fad right now, feel like they dibble dabble. That just means I like to kiss a girl. They might be a pillow princess. They ain't never touched what's all a day before in their life. They're not interested in the veg. They're a pillow princess. They're not that really. Some of the actual intricate things that make people that are involved in the lesbian community, that was never your thing
for them.
You never saw the possibility of a woman on woman relationship long term. You never saw. You are talking about literally bisexuality, means I like to have sex with a female, but I don't want to build a home with them. You feel me? Like there are plenty of us out there who say I like to dibble dabble. I like the feel of a woman. I like the smell of a woman. I like to touch a woman. I like to kiss. I mean, I might see somebody tomorrow. I might want to kiss.
Some people have been saying like, oh, I just like who I like when I like.
Yes, but I get that.
What is that?
I was there at one point.
I like. What does that mean?
That just meant I
terminology for that?
There was no terminology, and right now we're coming up with so much terminology just so that we can throw people into boxes, when really people don't fit into boxes. Yeah, people do what they want to do, and if we stop trying to label every fucking thing, then maybe it wouldn't make people want to lie about shit either. You know what I'm saying? Because when you ask me what my preference is, it's actually forcing me to be in a box sometimes. For some people, the information is fucking clear, and they don't ever want to do anything else. But for some people, it's not that clear. Some people will go outside and like, you know what? That's a good looking man. That's a good looking female. Maybe your interest could be piqued. You know what I'm saying? I clearly have been interested in men in the past. I have children. There's nothing wrong with heterosexual sex to me. I had it, been there, enjoyed it. I just realized throughout my personal journey, my preference has been women. Once I found out that was my preference, I always explain it as such that, for instance, I'm a seafood eater. I love seafood. I love crabs. I love scallops, shrimp, whatever. I love seafood. I also love steak. You know what I mean? I like a good steak. Beef is good and chicken is good too. But if all of those things are in front of me, I'm going to choose seafood
every time.
I mean, technically, if I could have seafood and steak, that would be my option. So maybe I'm
maybe you could date. Maybe what a trans man.
No, I don't. I like things to be clear. I don't know about that. But maybe, my future has a whole bunch of threesomes in it. I don't know. All I'm saying is that my preference is the seafood. And so I will be setting everyone up. All the steak in my life, all the chicken and all the beef in my life will be a setup for me, because I don't see it for you in the future. Because the minute, like I always tell people, like I can marry a man today or tomorrow. But if a piece of seafood walks past, like, that is a setup because I want her. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's the
desire.
And I would never set up my partner in that way. I would never set up my partner, if that's where I'm going, to be not to be my heart's desire. You know what I'm saying? So if my carnal desire and my heart's desire, it carnal. Let's be clear.
The vernacular, y'all.
Sometimes we have to be clear about some things that are sex and some things that are like your heart's desire and things like that. Because when I think I was talking to somebody yesterday and I was like, bisexual is completely and totally just be bisexual, meaning I like sex with this person and that person. Same way with the guy on Love at First Sight. He might like, a good dick. I don't know. But he might not see himself with a good dick long term. He might want to be married to this beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? But sexually, he might want a nice little what they call orgy or something. That I think orgies, not that I am very open as far as concepts. I'm not necessarily open as far as action, but do recognize there are orgies out there. People enjoy orgies. People enjoy swinging. People enjoy doing all these kind of things, which is also, again, get your asses tested because people is nasty and they out here doing all kinds of shit. Okay, so you never know if while they're doing shit, they are protecting themselves. And I do think that if you guys are involved in any kind of risky behavior, and unfortunately in this day and age, 2020 is dangerous. If you are out there doing anything, make sure that you guys are protecting yourself and being safe. You know what I'm saying? But in those things, there are sexual relationships that include orgies. They include swinging. They include, hey, I know my wife likes female, so I let her go do whatever she does. Hey, I know my husband likes a good dick, so he does what he does, and maybe we do this shit together. This is real ass life situations, and we all want to turn up our noses, but real. It's very real, and it might just literally be a sexual desire. And sometimes we have to, I feel like, separate our sexual desire from our life desire. You know what I'm saying? Like what you want sexually has nothing, not always, very often does not have anything to do with what you want to offer you fulfillment. Sex is sex. You know what I'm saying? That's why people can go out and have one night stands and not give a fuck, because that was sex. You know what I'm saying? They did not have an attachment to it. They pleasured themselves or gratified their body in a carnal urge. Period. Point blank and flat out. You just flooded your eyelashes. But I'm just saying, sometimes sexual things are just a carnal desire. Some people want that, and some people want it to be attached. I'm very much attached to my emotions sexually. My emotions make sex better. You know what I mean? So I desire to have sexual relations with people that I am attached to.
Your endorphins. It just
but
that's why they say foreplay is a must. Some people I can't go in for the kill. I can't go in for the kill like that. But you guys, this conversation is definitely is exciting.
To do more.
Yeah, we definitely do. We are at our time. But we've talked a lot about the virus, and we've kind of already talked about what you can do as far as washing your hands, coronavirus. Okay. Washing your hands, sing happy birthday twice. Do it for 20 minutes. Guys, don't touch your face. If you're gonna sneeze, cough, do it in here.
And take your damn shirt and get it away from me.
Yeah, and then just also, protect yourselves. When you protect yourselves, you protect those around you, as well. So just
be aware of that too.
Be aware of your surroundings for sure. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, because we have reached our time. And the conversation obviously always so real at the end. So we're going to pick up where we left off next week. Same time, same channel. Oh, no.
Are we doing this next week?
Oh, yeah. Let's not do it next week. So we're going to pick a new topic next week. For next week's show. But make sure y'all tune in next week at 8:30, and we will look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah. And if you guys want to submit music or submit somebody to Brewing TEA or anything like that, do not forget to get us on SipsTeaTheShow.com. No, we don't even have a .com yet. I'm sorry. I meant SipsTeaTheShow@gmail.com. That must have been prophetic. Anyway, I've already had my libation for the evening, but we will have a SipsTeaTheShow.com. So
it's coming.
It will. It is coming. But you guys can hit us up at SipsTeaTheShow@gmail.com. Inbox us here on YouTube. Leave something in the comments. Tell us what you think about Mr. MD's
Thank you,
information.
For all your
Thank
information.
you.
We appreciate it, guys. Make sure you guys read that. Follow him as well. Really spitting some real knowledge. So
we appreciate your comments too. He
Absolutely.
said we are very smart and open-minded, and that will allow us to move forward in life. And I hope that we all have to be a little bit more open and accepting of each other and aware. Just be aware. Be aware of yourself first, so that you can be aware of other people and how you might be affecting them and things like that. So yes, we will see you guys next week. We love you to life. Thank you for tuning in to SipsTea the Show. If you guys want to comment, like, subscribe, share, we definitely would appreciate that. And if you would like to join SipsTea the Show, also hit us up on that email and join in the whole movement or whatever. So love you to life. Talk to you next Wednesday. Bye.
Later. Everything bad.
Thank you.